Well, we ran into a little bit of a problem, or more importantly, we ran into a curb. Good morning. It's time to leave. It is currently Wednesday, and we are going to be leaving here in New York, and we're going to head to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I need to start packing up. Making last minute cleanup.
Last minute cleanup, just where the computer was, all that good stuff. I am loving the garbage can here hidden. Remember when we used to have to make sure that we tied up the garbage can because you couldn't leave it rattling around?
We do need to fix do the stools. We need to strap up the stools.
Yes, I will.
I can't wait until we get our stool helpers from Moride. But first we need to get new chairs because I don't like those chairs.
Well, I don't like the fact that I see you kind of hunching over because it doesn't have a backer.
Maybe we'll find something in Lancaster.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
crazy
campers.
And after losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds,
we realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us on a brand new adventure.
We're moving. It's kind of weird because we're used to going camping and we're there for 4 or 5 days and then we go home, right? But this time we're on the road for a month.
It has been wonderful. One of the greatest things that I felt very energized by is how little I can get by with. I really do enjoy activities. I enjoy looking at pretty things like flowers. I like walking around in nature. And as far as what I need back at the campsite to be content and happy, not much.
I've learned we don't need as many clothes. And this is not a knock on you. We each brought one suitcase for a month. And I thought we did great. I haven't worn half of my clothes. And we're 2.5 weeks. I mean, when did we leave? Oh, it's the 17th. So we've been on the road for 18 days.
I
haven't worn half of my clothes. You've been good with washing.
Thank you. I think when you're at home, you're not doing much like we used to do.
Then we should go purge.
What you find to be entertaining and sources of joy is different. It's just whatever is in your little trail from the kitchen to the bedroom, to work, that's where your focus is. But for us, it's hurry up, get dressed, let's get out of the house as soon as possible to go explore what we're getting to see here.
Yeah, so let's take a walk. So, yeah, it's weird to say we're moving because we've been in Allie for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this is the second moving day. We have a couple more coming up. And it's been great. I was actually we have the Dexter Toe Assist. And I was talking to Rob from Alliance the other day. He's asking, how's it going? Am I enjoying it? And I will say, listen, that drive coming from Elkhart, it wasn't pleasant for some times.
Well, it's the roads. It's not.
The roads
in
Indiana were really bad, and it was rainy, and we had some bad winds, and then we got diverted, and we're driving down really steep slopes and slick weather, and I could feel that Dexter Toe Assist working, and it was been great. And one of the coolest things is I looked up our odometer. So we've had Allie. There she is, right there.
Hi, Allie.
We've had Allie for 2 weeks, since the 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
892 miles on there. And you know how I know that?
My gracious.
Because when you get ABS brakes, you get an odometer that is built into there.
Which is wild.
That is so cool. So I can like track everything that's going on. But one of the cool things is that we did some testing with that Dexter tow assist, and one of the things that was really cool was if you like slam on the brakes, it does ABS brakes. It pulses, so it doesn't lock up, and therefore you don't get like that jackknife situation. So it's been really great. But yeah, we're gonna head out. We're going to, where are we going?
We're heading out to Lancaster, Pennsylvania for a few days.
Yeah, we're going to be staying at the Circle M campground, which is part of the 1,000 Trails. So, woohoo! We don't have to pay anything for this one.
I love free.
That's included in our 1,000 Trails membership. We're going to go around Lancaster a little bit and
see what's pickled down there.
See a couple of shows. And my mom and my sister are going to drive down and join us. So, are you ready to get out of here?
Let's do it.
I am still getting used to this heavy 50 amp cord. I'm used to the 30 amp cord, which I feel like at this point was like half the width of this. And we're just going to kind of shove it in here. But you know what? One of my favorite things about the Alliance Delta line, watch this. There's our slide. I can pull the slide in from here. This is so cool. It's even more beneficial when you get to where you're going and you need to let your slide out, because in the past, I would have to stay out inside and control the slide, and then Rachel is on the outside watching the slide coming out, and then start yelling at me that we're going to hit a tree, we're going to hit a post. Even though we're this far from the tree, when I know where the slide's going to be, she panics a little bit, and I understand because I can be a little reckless. But sometimes she's like, if we're this close, we're too close. But I like being able to just see everything from here. You can have your eyes on it. And the cool thing is you have the same thing with the awnings on the other side.
It's because I've been married to Joe for a very long time. So I know, like, sometimes, you know, it's like with that Get Smart guy, missed it by that much.
Well, if I could put a sheet of paper in between, then I'm not too close. I am getting used to these steps. I'm not very good at remembering to clean them off. Maybe we will get that way. I would like to possibly upgrade these to the lift assist for Rachel, though. The one thing that I don't like about them is the dirt sits here. And once you put them down, there's no easy way to clean it. Like, so you have to remember to, like, go get the dust buster to clean it. But here's the problem. The dust buster is inside of the RV. So the dust buster's in the RV. We lift up we've lifted up the steps. I can't get to the dust buster. Now we have the dust buster. We clean it, but the steps are up. So we got to work on that one. But overall, I am getting used to them. It is nice. The worst part that I'm finding about it is when we make stopovers, I'm used to not having to bother with the steps. You know, like when we would stop at a gas station and I just want to run into the RV, I'm used to just like, you know, we would climb up.
And now you have to think about it. You have to have the steps come down and kind of be in a place where you can set them out.
Now, one thing I am enjoying with them, you can handle the steps. You always struggled with the old steps.
I did.
You would come to me and be like, can you get the steps down?
Holding them down was kind of a pain.
But you can handle these. So that's it. Last thing we need to do is I need to pull forward and you need to grab the leveling blocks because, yes, we have auto level. And the auto level, by the way,
amazing.
I will never buy another travel trailer without auto level. It has been so great. But Mom's house was where we parked was very unlevel, and though the auto level worked, it lifted these tires up off the ground. So we ended up getting some of our leveling blocks and rolling up on them just so that the tires weren't up off of the ground. But I really, really am enjoying the auto level.
Me too.
What are you doing?
I want to be outside the vehicle.
Why?
As you go up this driveway.
So you're gonna walk up that driveway?
I will.
Really?
I want to show people why I'm not excited
I
about
feel like
this moment.
You're just more afraid, like you don't want to be in the car when I gun it.
Whatever works.
Oof. Oof. How was your walk?
That was a way different experience than last time. Are you enjoying this truck?
So last time we did this, we actually had the Grand Design, and we had my white pickup, which was a 2-wheel drive, gas engine, did not have the torque, and it was May, and my mom's road wasn't as nice. It was a muddy road, so Rachel was a little worried.
It was so scary.
Now, we were fine getting up, no problem at all. I just needed to make sure I didn't run over my sister's like pole markers.
Why are we getting off? What are we doing?
Well, we have a couple of different ways that we can go. We can take the interstate, but the road is like really bumpy and you're driving 65 miles an hour.
It is very bumpy.
Or we can save 45 minutes and drive all the local roads.
And you save 45 minutes?
And we'll save 45 minutes and about 430 miles. Now, that does mean some windy roads and maybe some hills and things like that.
Yours, usually taking the interstate gets you placed faster. That's why you take it.
Well, these are like shortcuts down through 209 and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we kind of came up this way through Port Jervis. So we're going to take all like side roads that'll drive us like through Allentown, Pennsylvania, and different things like that. The important thing for doing this route is you got to know your height.
Living here in Allentown.
So I know the height of our RV, so you just got to be aware, pay attention. One of the things that we love about having a travel trailer over a fifth wheel, which is one of the reasons I do that, is I can go in some places that a fifth wheel can't go.
Right.
So we're about 11 feet 4 inches tall. So I basically avoid anything under about 11 feet 6 inches, 11 feet 8 inches.
Or 12 feet.
And we just are going to watch, pay attention, and enjoy some of the scenic views.
Well, when you said off-road, you weren't kidding. We are off-road, friends.
So we're basically just staying on 209, single lane road through local towns. We're in some kind of, I don't know, preserve.
Raymond's Kill Falls.
So we're driving through Pennsylvania. You missed another state.
Crap!
I did say we're in Pennsylvania. You just weren't paying
hear
attention
that.
to me. It is a really pretty scenic drive.
Gorgeous.
You just have to be paying attention. Like, you know, you missed the sign that said caution next 20 miles high collision zone.
The next 20 miles is a high collision zone?
Well, probably because...
That's a lot of collision potential.
I'm assuming because this is a pretty isolated road, and I have a feeling people drive a lot faster than they're supposed to, and you can see it's pretty windy.
Long and winding road.
And it's one lane on each side with no center divider. But again, it's a pretty drive, and this is one of the things that I like about having a travel trailer, that we can do this. I've never been this way before, so it's
something new.
I would say it's not white knuckle driving, but definitely a little bit more difficult than if you're driving on like the interstate. Like, I don't want to sound like I don't pay attention when I'm driving on the interstate, because I do, but it's just like there's a little bit more to be watching for.
So I love our hitch and I love our truck, and I am enjoying both of those things right now as we drive through this scenic route.
Why are you wearing my shoes?
Well, it was, pretty sandy and dusty at the campsite. I actually washed my shoes at your mom's house, and so I just got used to wearing Crocs.
So whenever we stop, I like to take a quick walk around the RV, check and make sure everything is okay, especially considering when we were driving down 17, it got really bumpy and we hit a couple of really bad bumps doing 60 miles an hour. So we're just gonna open up the RV and check and make sure everything's okay. Everything looks good. The couch shifted a little bit, but we did actually connect it all. And it's funny because whenever we hit bumps, some of this foam insulation from this cutout still falls out a little bit. It's the same spot every single time, right there. Well, we ran into a little bit of a problem, or more importantly, we ran into a curb. So when we stopped at a gas station, I jumped the curb just a little bit with the tire, and it was enough that the rear stabilizer jack caught it, and it bent the arm that's holding it onto the RV just a little bit, enough to break the weld. So we're on our way to Lancaster, and we called ahead. We found a welder, and we're gonna stop, and he's gonna take a look at it and see if he can fix it. It doesn't look like it's a big job. I know it can be easily fixed. It's just, can it be easily fixed while on the road?
Wow.
Well, we got our RV fixed.
God bless Curtis Hustler in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So if you have an issue, you need a welder.
We'll leave his phone number down below in the description.
Such a gentleman.
Listen, one thing I will say, and he had said it, Lipper builds the bracket right.
Yeah.
He was like, I hit a curb just right. It hit the landing foot, it bent it, and we just could not bend it back. So, couple of options would be, number one, cut the entire bracket off, wait forever for Lippert to send us a new bracket. If you can even buy a new bracket without buying a whole new landing foot.
Right.
Don't even know. Or we basically cut 3 out of the 4 points of contact. We bent it back. We welded it. And then because one bend, there was no way to get it to connect, we put a new brace on it. It may not look pretty,
but it's going to work.
But it's straight, and it's probably more reinforced now than it was before. So the only thing we need to do is, sorry, Curtis just came running down to give us easier directions to get to Circle M than we were actually going to follow with our GPS.
He's so awesome.
He really was awesome. He did a great job.
Fantastic, young
Took
man.
about an hour and 45 minutes. Kept apologizing that it's not going to look as pretty as the factory.
We were so thankful that somebody was willing to get us in today, like on the way. Let us come to his home.
He did great
to do it.
So super excited. We're all fixed. It's perfectly straight. And the best part is he only charged me $100. I actually offered him $150. He said $100. And I said, I'll give you $150. He's like, no, I'm not taking $150.
Hello.
He's like, I only want $100.
Oh my gracious.
And he even said his rate was $60 an hour. So, you know, to be at least 120.
Heck yes.
And he's like, no. And so,
God bless you,
know,
Curtis.
if you need a welder in the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, call Curtis. Still want to farm?
Woof. It's quite barnyardy suddenly. Oof.
Horses.
It's some beautiful homes, but it smells like bleep. Oh. It's seriously gorgeous, gorgeous homes. Woo. And it smells like a horse stall.
And we're in the car.
What?
So they do it a little different here. We have a map. We have all of the available sites. And he said, drive around, find a site we like, pick one, and then come back up and tell him what site we chose. Okay, he just called me back in. Rachel is not going to be happy. Little problem.
I don't like hearing that.
So evidently, he said we are signed up for a no sewer site. So they do have a dump station because we haven't dumped from Mom's house. But we won't have a sewer while we're here, which is fine. We did RV unplugged, but that means that we'll have to just we can't take 25-minute showers.
I'm sad.
I know. I mean, there is another campground, but it's probably 35 minutes away from here.
Well, and this one's free.
Yeah, the other one is free too, but it's we have a nice little drive. I mean, where you could stay here for a day and then move over there, or we could just deal with it.
I think we could just deal with it.
I mean, I'm not worried. Worst case, you could always hook back up.
I'm sure they probably have showers too. If you just were I don't want to bother with it.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
So let's go find a site.
So I'm not going to lie. I wish that we had sewer, but you cannot beat the view. Look at the view from our campsite. This is absolutely an incredible, incredible view. I'm going to really enjoy waking up to this every single morning. Beautiful water. Just really, really relaxing. We don't have anybody on this entire side, so we really feel like we've got this all to ourselves. So sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get what you need.
Well, it's been quite an adventure today.
It has been an adventure. More events than I would have chosen, but praise God, we got here safely, and thankful for our welder friend that we met. And
4 years of RVing, and this was really the first major issue that we've had, knock on wood. It'll be the last one. And it's really my fault. I mean, we pulled into that gas station and I jumped the curb, and in the past, you go over a curb nice and slow, you know it's there, is the best I could do to turn the corner. But I forgot that we have leveling jacks. And it's funny that my sister this morning, as we were pulling out, she's like, aren't those jacks supposed to go up any higher? But they're not. That's where they're at. And I clipped the foot. What happened was as I went up, I guess, the curb hit the corner of the foot, and it just enough. But at least it bent it where it's supposed to bend it. It didn't break the whole leveling jack. It didn't break the frame. It literally just bent the bracket that puts the leveling jack to the floor. So that's fixed. You know, it may not look pretty now, but it's functional. We were able to level here. We're just going to enjoy a couple of days here in Lancaster. We get to hang out with my mom some more, and I'm super excited about that. So we're all set up. We got to go up. We got to let them know what site we're in and get our gate tag and our parking pass. And then after that, I think we're going to do a live stream for our keto channel. So we're just going to end this video right here. Now, please do us a favor. If you like videos like this, make sure you hit the like button on this video. It really does help us build the channel, but it also lets us know what kind of videos you guys are looking to see.
And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the little bell button. And that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time, happy camping.